Hello Nottinghamshire Madness fans, welcome to another video. I'm out on the Decathlon 920E original bike. If you remember, we bought this from Decathlon. I think they're £200 or £300 off it. Anyway, I brought you out today to say why I believe we should all ride an e-bike. I don't actually. I believe we should all have an e-bike. You don't particularly have to ride it. Many reasons you read as to why, or you hear as to why we should cycle. I say e-bike because I think an e-bike is quite important to you as you get older. Anyway, we all hear these reasons why we should cycle and what we should do and the benefits for our health, and one less car, runs on fat, not fuel, good for the environment, dirty. We've all heard these mantras of why we should cycle. A mantra I've never heard is and it's not really a mantra, it's we are all one less doctor's visit away from being told don't drive your car. Now it happens, it's happened to me. The doctor's considered it once with me. I do know people that have been to the doctor and have been told don't drive your car. Well, we live in this ever increasing urban sprawl of development, of out of town developments being built only a mile and a half from the town centre. If you haven't got a car, a mile and a half can be an awful long way. And that is another of these mantras. Journeys under so many miles should be driven by car because they take the quicker and the better for the environment and the good for your health and all that. But I'm not on about that. I'm on about when you go to the doctor or the hospital and say don't drive your car, what do? Maybe you can't ride a bike, who knows, but maybe you can. But maybe you haven't ridden a bike since you were 12 years old. Maybe you've gone to the doctor at 28 years old and being told don't drive your car. And if it's summer, yeah, you might drag your bike out and give it an oil and get on it and ride it. Great. Because without transport in this country, you're pretty well stuffed. That's motorised transport. We live in this car-dependent, car-centric society, and this is an example of how car-centric society is. The good thing with these new developments is they put in cycle tracks. Generally, you probably don't actually connect to anywhere else, but they do put in cycle tracks. Anyway, you've been to the quack and he said don't drive your car. What do? If you had an e-bike at home, sat there ready waiting to go, you're sorted. You can go to Tesco's, you can go to the pub, you can go into town. Most of the time you can ride on cycle tracks. I ride on the pavement. I tell you now, I ride on pavements, providing there aren't any cars parked on the pavements. There's no pedestrians on the pavements, or very few pedestrians on pavements, but there's loads of cars, and generally you can avoid the cars anyway. So I do ride on pavements anyway, but generally around where I live I can ride on cycle track on an e-bike. And if you've been told by a doctor, by the hospital, not to drive your car, you need to get about. I believe you should have access to an e-bike. I believe you should. I think it's a responsible thing to yourself to buy an e-bike. You can buy an e-bike for 400 quid. If you go on the net, or go and do a search. You can buy a Fido. I think Fido do an e-bike for less than 400 quid. I don't know what it's like, who knows. Does it really matter? Because you can't drive your car. When you get to 60, 65, I'm 65 next, 70, 80, you've not ridden a bike since you were 12 years old, doctor says, right, that's it, your driving days are done. What on earth do you do? Walk down to the bus stop? Get yourself an e-bike. Get yourself an e-bike now. Ride it a bit, learn to ride it a bit, because at 70 years old, to learn to ride a bike again, it's going to be difficult. And I think whatever age you are now, get yourself an e-bike. It's a mode of transport. Use it as you can for a mode of transport. You may enjoy it, may swap the car and get rid of the car, or whatever. I haven't got rid of my car. I'm never going to. But I'm one doctor visit away and being told not to drive. So for me, that is a reason to have an e-bike. That is a big reason to have an e-bike in your early years of life, in midlife, in later life. Because I don't want to learn, or I wouldn't like to learn to get on a bike for the first time for 50 odd years today and go out to buy my newspaper. So that's why I think you should ride an e-bike. That's why I think you should own an e-bike. I think everybody should have an e-bike. Apart from that, if you do ride it, it's saving you money, nothing else. Thank you for my little rambles. Catch you on the next one, guys.